What's going on, y'all? It's your man, Mike DeLoach, here bringing you some content of a black man in New Mexico. Today, we're going to bring you another podcast of lessons in life. And one of the lessons today is the fact that you got to know how things work and understand how things works, what makes you tick, what makes others tick, what makes society move as a whole, how do you move within society as a whole, but again, to know that you got to know how things work. And Glendon Cameron, has a phrase. I don't know if it's a personal phrase, but he says this phrase that, don't hate the player, don't hate the game, learn the rules so you can know how to win. You used to hear that phrase, don't hate the player, don't hate the game. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you gotta know what game you playing so that you can understand how certain things work. And again, therefore, you can adjust your movement to how you move within whatever system that you may be operating in. And speaking of systems, everything has systems and processes. Whether that be you just as simple as getting a job. You have to fill out the application. And this is in most cases depending on, again, the type of job. But for most jobs that, legit and where they actually, you get a W-2 at the end of the year, you have to fill out the application, go to the interview, however many interviews that may be. You may have to have a certain level of experience. But, you have to go through that process before you can even start working at the job, And then, of course, once you start working the job, that job itself is going to have its own systems and processes, which how it operates on a day-to-day, when, like I said, I say that to say this because you want to understand, your systems and processes. Do you have systems and processes? Would your life be better if you were to add systems and processes into your day-to-day, Because the objective is, we just, you want to be successful by knowing these things that are, have you successful in all aspects of life, But, and with those systems and process, understand that, everything has a season. I have a video about, everything having a season, so I'll go a little into depth about that, or into detail about that, but within knowing how things work, knowing that, certain things has their season, for example, today is Memorial Day, it's a holiday, and, most people, granted, the weather is not, permitting for barbecues or whatever, but if the weather permits, a lot of people are probably barbecuing, cooking, whatever, enjoying the day. And granted, some may not per se celebrate this holiday, but some may have certain traditions that they do in their own way, and that's kind of the point I'm trying to make, because in certain holidays, let's say like 4th of July, Christmas, like, you're gonna have a lot of people shopping, you have a lot of people in stores, when in the grocery stores, and so you may be waiting in line longer, you know what I'm saying? Some things may be out of stock, some things may not be available, but if you understand how people work, but the thing is, if you understand like how the majority of people operate, and not to say that they're procrastinators, but when in certain seasons or certain times you may have more traffic going one way, meaning I needed to do laundry, so normally the laundry mat is probably packed, but here was a day that was considered a holiday. A lot of people would rather be at home and relax. Your everyday person probably was fortunate enough to have the day off if they working. But you know what I mean, most people had the day off, they was enjoying the day, how they please, rather than going out and feeling like another day's work by, doing laundry. But just the fact that, I chose to do laundry on here. It is this holiday. The laundromat is not packed, and I'm able to go in and take my time and don't feel rushed as far as getting that done. And that's kind of what I mean by as far as everything happening this season, because sometimes you may have to operate out of season to get certain things done, for lack of a better word. And even think about clothes. As far as out of season, sometimes obviously winter clothes are not in season in the summer. Summer clothes are not in season in the winter. However, if you looked at it from a monetary standpoint, and you're seeing stores all the time, and this is a thing about how knowing how things work, and kind of knowing when to purchase, whatever it may be. But we're gonna use clothes as this example. So here it is, going into the winter time, they starting to bring out all the winter gear. So everything that they had that was in the summer season, summer is the season is going away. So now they have this excess amount of short sleeve clothes and shorts that could be discounted. And let's say you had your eye on this shirt or these shorts, whether it may have been a more expensive brand or whatever. And the thing is that now, before it may not have been in your range, but when they drop that, that price down, that clearance, now you're able to make that purchase and buy out of season. But even though you bought out of season, you were able to get a better deal. And that could go in anything as far as cars, electronics, because every year, cell phones, because every year they're putting out something new. Granted, the car thing is, they say that they're not producing as many new cars, but I think about working in Walmart. Every time we got the next series of TV, or the next best thing in TV, as far as went from like the plasma to LED to high definition to ultra high def and 4K, and now you got other variations of this high definition that you can get. So every time that product made something new, the older product is gonna go for sale. You know what I mean? So that's just knowing that, okay, whenever the new version is come out, the older version gonna be half the price of the brand new one. So I can get the older version, and and that may be within your season, because granted, like I said, everything has its systems and processes which may never change. But like you say, you may be able to find that moment where you can take advantage of this sale just because it was going out of season. And like I said, I would see that. You see it with cell phones too. Now they going out to the 12, so let's say the 7s and the 8s are gonna be, if you find what having the 7 and 8, you can probably get one of them for the low. But again, just know the seasons and know, like I said, know how it works, and learn the rules. The rules is fact that, okay, knowing that it's out of season, it's going to go on clearance within this season, but again, with all that being said, you got to know what makes yourself tick, and again, you got to know what make others tick. If you know that, others are going to be out shopping or at home grilling, and other things may be wide open. I think about one time we tried to go to Texas Roadhouse. There was an hour and a half wait, but Texas Roadhouse is this popular restaurant, so that's where everybody gonna want to go. But here it is, also in the city, you have another restaurant who serves pretty much the same thing. It's called Pelicans, and so it's like, all right, well, Texas is packed. I guarantee ain't nobody at Pelicans, because everybody want to go to what's trendy, and that's the thing. Sometimes you can't. When I say know what makes you tick and know what makes others tick, you can't always follow the crowd, because at the end of the day, I just want a steak, and yeah, I can get it at Texas Roadhouse. Yeah, I could have probably went to Longhorns. Yeah, I could have probably went to Outback, but if I went to all three of those places, guarantee all three of those places probably had an hour wait, hour and a half wait, But here it is, we go to Pelicans, which I can still get steak, and there's no weight. So sometimes you can't follow the crowd, and that's what I kind of want to say, as far as summing up, as far as knowing what makes others tick, especially if the objective was to get the same, to get the same thing, you know what I mean? But with that being said too, once you understand, like I say, once you understand the game that you playing, and you understand the systems and process within the game, the rules, what rules you can bend, what rules that people stand firm on that can't be broken, what rules can be broken to create other rules, because sometimes you can change the rules up in the game, but the game is usually still the same, but like I say, know all of that and know yourself and know the times that you can take advantage, because again, at the end of the day, once you able to understand that and you're able to use it to your advantage, at that point you're able to set yourself up for greater successes. When once you start doing it and you start seeing the small success that you're having, again you can take that and apply that to other things that you're trying to do, to other endeavors that you may put yourself into. But again, at the end of the day, the thing is, know how things work, know how the world works. Again, what makes people tick, what makes others tick, what makes you tick, and take all of those things into consideration and see, what helps you maneuver through this thing, and what helps you, attain success, and what systems and processes, that you may have to set up to, continue that success. And of course, those systems and process may change, throughout whatever game that you may be playing, But I'm gonna cut it right there, Again, know how the world works, know how things works, But it's your man, Mike Deloach, with the Black Man in New Mexico. This was another podcast of Lessons in Life. So if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell as well, so that you can get a heads up whenever we do drop some new content. Like the video so that it can circulate. If in this visit, and if this video, and if this podcast, resonated with you, what I'm saying, definitely make sure you hit that like button and comment and share the video as well, because if it helped you, it probably could help somebody else. You know what I mean? But until next time, we're gonna holler back, and y'all take it easy.
As always, thank you for watching A Black Man in New Mexico with your man, Mike Deloach. So, if you haven't already, hit that icon in the corner. Be sure to click on my face so that you can subscribe to the channel and get uploaded, when we drop that new content. And by the way, be sure to check out one of these videos here as well, to see what else we got going on in the content, But again, we appreciate you. It's your man, Mike Deloach. And until next time, we'll holler back.